Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-binaries and transgenders, you're welcome to. This is the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from Bravery Studios, Clifton, New Jersey.
Hold up.
Bravery up.
Yes, the classic drop.
There you go.
I'm Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always and forever, always worst behavior. Mr. DM, find me in your mama's DMs. Why? Because I'm trying to give your mama a baby, and nobody can stop me. And the man on the black side of the screen.
Oh, y'all know who it is. Alex the motherfucking Heelz. The AKA the Stan Lee of podcasting. The AKA Mr. Fuck the Revival. Fuck the Mr. McMahon.
Coming in kind of low.
AKA.
But keep the intro going. Do your thing.
AKA Mr. Get your girl in a cripple crossface, leave her in a crossface. The Hill.
Yo. And the man that presses all the buttons, Mr. Gnarly Marv.
Yo. What up, Ultra Heelz?
How you liking the rum punch over there?
I'm digging it. I'm digging it over
I
there.
could definitely go for some more of this.
Yeah, man.
Too bad I only bought half a pack.
I can dig it.
Because I split it with somebody because it was brand new. So, yeah.
Darth the Generous. Round of applause for that. Oh, what happened? There you go.
There we go.
Get everything situated up.
What's up, Alex? How's it down there?
Hot. For the first time in a few weeks, and then it's going to rain starting tomorrow.
It rained this morning and then it just suddenly stopped.
You remember
It rained
yesterday?
this morning.
I don't remember yesterday because I slept till like 1 o'clock.
Oh man, it was crazy, like thunderclaps, bro.
Really?
It was like actual, like you could hear like God's hands clapping yesterday.
Because I know when I got to work, the sun was out.
Yeah, it was at night. It was like 7. It was during Malcolm's podcast, so.
Oh yeah, it did rain. That's right. I was in the office, so I really didn't see outside. But yeah, I definitely remember the thunder at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. How about that Thunderdome, Alex?
Which part? You talking about the part with the Pikachu? You talking about the part where the KKK thing? You talking about the part where
The
motherfuckers had
Fire Velveteen Dream.
Background? Oh, first of all, I'm still mad at that shit. I want everybody to shut the fuck up about that shit now.
The picture of Chris Benoit.
No.
First of all, I noticed that real quick, and I was happy as hell when I saw that shit. I was like, damn it, somebody beat me to it. Fuck.
Yo, I knew that was going to happen. There were so many trolls on the video wall. And that's just
that KKK one.
Yeah.
The KK one, I knew that video when I saw it, and I was like, damn it, who the fuck found this old ass damn video? That's from a documentary.
Yo, that is ridiculous. So, the freaking guidelines to be in the Thunderdome.
Before we get into it,
okay.
I feel like Dar's got a funny story coming.
Actually, I don't. But...
It's Kelvin's birthday.
Commissioner Kelvin, happy birthday.
Got some bombs for the bro. George Jeff is eating food from Thailand.
I wish that man happy birthday early this morning when I was going to work. I just happened to remember. I was like, is this an old birthday to put his money's over? I know. Oh, shit, Kelvin. Shit, let me go in there and tell him happy birthday.
Where you could feel it in the air that it was Kelvin's birthday. It was like some Phil Collins shit. Real talk. Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah. So yeah.
No. Go to the guideline. After the guideline, I gotta go off with people about that Velveteen Dream shit.
All right.
I've been heated for the last few days because Twitter just been blowing up. So, you know me, I don't argue on Instagram no more. I'm on to Twitter arguing with people. And right now, I'm kind of undefeated at this point.
Oh, you're on that Randy Orton level.
Oh, I'm on that Randy Orton Big E level. Don't follow me on Twitter, but I will get in that ass on the Twitter. So
the Thunderdome kicked off last Friday for SmackDown. Mr. McMahon made his first TV appearance in quite some time. He was interrupted by The Fiend. And then The Fiend, who was interrupted by Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman was interrupted by Retribution. So
And then what happened after that? The Fiend and Braun Strowman nodded their heads like they was going to fight him.
Yep.
And the Fiend ran faster than a black dad find out a girl he don't like is pregnant.
Word. Yeah. So it's basically the NFL. I mean the NBA. It's basically what they're doing with their games that no longer exist because they're boycotting the season. But that's another story. Yeah, it's just a video wall of people sitting there in their home.
And it's so sad though, because it's weird. The internet kind of knew we were gonna get trolls up there. We used to know how long it was gonna take, but I didn't think the damn first SmackDown was gonna go ham.
The Chris Benoit one was like the second segment, right?
Yes, it was the second segment, and the hard camera went right to that shit. But it was so blurry, you couldn't tell it was the photo of him.
Yeah.
It looked like somebody's camera was just old. And I was like, that was smart. Because WWE would have got that shit instantaneously. That bitch would have been in high quality.
Yeah, and then the Velveteen Dream one was like the second hour. Because I saw that one when I got home. Because the Velveteen Dream.
Bro, the dude that did that, I follow him on Twitter. And me and his fans have been going at it. And I think yesterday they stopped hitting me up finally. But as soon as he did that and they found out who he was, he got a thank you for being in the Thunderdome for subscribing. He tried to go back in with different emails. They blocked his IP.
Oh.
He is blocked from WWE going into any more Thunderdome things.
Yo, they're serious about blocking the trolls. If they're searching people's IP address.
Yo, as of right now, WWE is taking precautions. All loyal fans that they had the first night that didn't do nothing stupid like that, they take up the first row with cameras. All the trolls and everybody else, they feel like there's going to be something. It's in the far back on the small monitor, so you can't really see what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still trying to get in there though. I didn't reapply over the weekend because I just didn't feel like having to set up a camera, sit in one spot.
J Kid's on there tonight. He told me.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
nice.
He posted the invite on social media.
They sent me the email for it, and I was like, nah, I'll do another pay-per-view come around, but I don't want to do no regular TV shows. Give me something I can get happy about.
I might apply for this week's Raw. See if I get an email back.
I'm gonna try to see if I can for Payback.
So yeah, after Retribution attacked Braun Strowman in the Fiend. Well, I'm sorry, the Fiend disappeared and Braun Strowman got attacked. The locker room is divided on how to handle Retribution. The leaders seem to be Big E and Sheamus, at least on SmackDown, and they had a match, and Big E won.
Yeah. And we also talk about how Big E is the man of the hour when they bring back
Big.
They brought back the show they should have never got rid of in the first place.
And it only
let the wrestlers be themselves.
It only took Renee Young to leave for them to bring it back.
Yeah, right. Like all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm leaving it this week. Hey, bring that Talking Smack back. I was gonna miss it now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But Big E went off on the Miz in such a calm demeanor and so for real. When they talked about up, down, down, the Miz is like, yeah, Big E got into me a little bit, so I gotta respect him for that. I said, got into you a little bit. Nigga, he opened your ass up like a dictionary and was reading you your rights.
Oh shit.
Yo, the way Talking Smack went off is Big E went up there being Big E on the mic with his legs on the table in a split, acting goofy.
Okay.
It's Big E. But the Miz said, seeing how you're by yourself and you could be in a title picture, you had to stop acting goofy and you had to start acting more serious. Big E said, I don't act serious for shit. He said, I came acting serious. I came in doing that. I was a nobody. He said I was a nobody. He said I was a drone. He said I started acting like myself. He said, this is the most fan built I had since me acting myself. He's like, also, and let me just talk about this. And Suda Subject said, I'm mad that Kobe Kingston never got a rematch for his WWE title at the Brock. He said after he lost, he went straight back to the title, the tag team title.
Yep.
The Miz says you can't say that. The Miz said you can't say that because I didn't get my opportunity. He said, did you wait 11 years for yours? I didn't think so. Anyway, and he just went off on homeboy, bro. Every time the Miz tried to stop him, he was like, but yet again, you didn't wait 11 years. He was like, he said, you got pushed to your titles. Do that. He said, Kofi waited 11 years to get that one title reign and then lost it. And then that was it. No rematch. He said, so I see like this. My boy deserves his rematch. And I don't care what nobody said. And the Miz was like, look, I haven't had a title picture in a while. I had to restructure myself. He said, again, you didn't wait 11 years. So you are non-part of this conversation.
Let's also acknowledge the fact that the Miz was the third wheel in a singles match. Because he was just the pawn in the game of putting The Rock and John Cena together.
That's all it was.
Who else has entered WrestleMania and left WrestleMania as the champion? And that was the side story to the main event.
It really was. It was a side story to lead to the main story of Cena versus The Rock. The Miz was just like, the Miz was a filler art for the real manga that we really cared about.
He was a filler art. That's exactly what he was.
Yeah, so, after talking smack, I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. Now, Raw guy I want to call Talking Raw, and I was like, that did sound like a porno for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But before we get further wrestling, let me air this out about the Team Dream.
All right.
I don't give a fuck who's watching. I don't give a fuck who the fuck cares. WWE did their fucking investigation. Now, the people that said the Velveteen Dream did it said they was never contacted. But WWE doesn't have to contact you. They contact the police that are investigating the thing. If the police have no evidence on what Velveteen Dream did, everybody can suck a dick. Because at this point right now, I'm tired of seeing on Twitter this hashtag fight the Velveteen Dream when they investigated him twice and still can't form no evidence of what he did. So I wish everybody would just shut the fuck up, leave the man alone. He did his time. They took him on TV. You didn't see him on social media. You didn't see him outside doing nothing. He stayed away. They bring him back. He's wrestling like he never left. Shut the fuck up. Leave him the hell alone. Like, this shit is getting fucking annoying.
Or where's the fire Matt Riddle? Because he's got a allegation.
Ain't nobody trying to fire Matt Riddle, bro. I'm telling you, Twitter. If you go on Twitter and type in hashtag fire Velveteen Dream, bro, it's like 100,000 motherfucking tweets of this shit since he's been back, bro. And I've been literally going off on everybody with the same shit. Like, everybody's on some, WWE should just fire him. They don't know what they're doing. This blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, they fired so many people in their company when they found out that shit was true about them. People that didn't find shit out true, guess what? They went back to work, just like you would do anything else in the real world. Like, shut the fuck up and leave him alone. Austin
Theory's back on TV this week. He had an allegation.
Oh yeah.
So they're doing the right thing. They're doing the right thing now. If you have an allegation, they're going to take you off of TV. They're going to investigate it, and then they'll react. They're not just going to fire you like Enzo.
Yeah, like WWE. People understand WWE is a traded company. Traded companies don't let go of fucking people. If the WWE had this many amount of traded people and buy into toward NBA, if Blaze said LeBron James smacked a little girl on her ass, he's getting taken off games, period, no matter what, until they can find out what the fuck happened and is it true. If it's not true, guess what? LeBron's back on the court playing the game. You can't stop him from doing that. They're doing the right thing. If WWE wanted to be dicks like they was before, they just fire him like Enzo and just not gave a fuck. Right. But like they said, they fired Enzo and they found out they was wrong. But there was no need to go back and try to hire him. You fucked up.
I think
so. It's like it is what it is.
I think the thing is, cancel culture has gotten so bad that they just can't make the snap judgment anymore. They actually have to do their research and see what happened.
I think cancel culture now was everybody that was born from 97 and up.
Basically, yes.
They don't do research. They just follow whatever online says and they just go with it. Like, let's say I say something bad right now after tonight. Cancel culture want to cancel me, but they don't understand why I said what I said. They just heard it and they just want me canceled. They need to shut the fuck up at this point.
Okay, here's political segment number 3 that we're going to have. Like, for example, when Kanye West said Harriet Tubman never freed the slaves, nobody ever went to watch the rest of that speech. Yes, he made an outlandish statement. He made an outlandish statement, but if you go back and watch the rest of that's what he had to say that day, it was just a bad example of what he was trying to say. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was just
like I saw it on World Star, and all I saw was him say that Harriet Tubman freed the slaves and him going off on that black girl. But I was like, did anybody watch this shit from the beginning and listen to what Kanye was saying? Like, everything he was saying was not, he was saying truthful shit. He was just trying to give a point across of what he was trying to say, but he was just using the wrong thing. He made a really take it out of he said that and that's what it is.
He made a bad analogy. That's all it was.
I ain't hear nobody say cancel Kanye West. Niggas out here still buying them ugly ass Yeezy 750s and whatever numbers they make.
Man.
The ugly ass sandals and all other shit.
Man, they can't. Never mind. I'm not gonna go. I'm not even gonna go into sneakers. Them shits is trash. Trash bags.
Now that I got that out of my system, if anybody want to fight me about it, you can hit me up on my Instagram. I don't give a fuck. We can argue about it. I'm still going to shut you down. I don't give a damn.
You heard it here, folks. You can get these hands.
You get these heads, you get these words. Hell, you can meet me a Raw Underground for all I give a shit.
Facts. Last week, the Wednesday Night War that didn't actually take place on Wednesday night. NXT was still on Wednesday. They had 853,000 viewers. And on Saturday night, Dynamite, who got bumped off of Wednesday night because of the NBA playoffs, then had to delay the start of Dynamite because the NBA playoffs went into overtime. So they didn't start until like 6:20. They were scheduled for 6 o'clock. So the show was only like an hour and 40 minutes long.
Yep.
They had 755,000 viewers. So NXT got a W last week. And I tried to look up
all on technicality.
I tried to look up the viewership for TakeOver 30 on the network, but I can't find it because WWE hides their fucking viewership numbers until the fucking their conference calls with the investors. But anyway, I would imagine that there were more viewers for TakeOver than Dynamite.
There was a lot more viewers. I think my whole Instagram search, like when you go search look up people, every video up there was about NXT TakeOver, and that's the first time I've ever seen that much wrestling in that search bar.
Yeah, so even if you want to do head-to-head on Saturday, NXT most likely still won. Again, technicality, it was a different day. There was a bunch of stuff going on. But regardless, NXT got the W for last week. So, Dynamite kicked off with, what was it? The Natural Nightmares and the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends versus Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, FTR, for a number one contender versus Hangman and Kenny Omega at All Out.
It was a good match, but Matt Jackson didn't have his headband on.
And you realize that he's
when
balding.
I say Twitter.
And you realize he's
Twitter
balding.
went ham on him. Look, Twitter went ham on him and said he like, what you call it, from the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
Bro, they went ham on him so hard, bro. I was like, God damn, son, I feel bad.
He might be I think he's like 33, but he looks like he's about 53.
Yeah, he need to wear that headband all the time. Matter of fact, that money they're getting from Tony Khan, he need to go ahead and take a little time off and get some earplugs in that bitch or something.
You gotta call up LeBron to get his hair guy.
I'm about to say you can't because LeBron still got the baldy in the back still, bro. LeBron is worth how much money?
Hey, we're not worried about the back. All you see is the front, the money shot.
No.
All you
we gotta worry about the back. No, we gotta worry about the back. When he turns his back around, he looked like how you take the paper off of Reese's and the chocolate gets stuck on it.
Tell me why I just saw that meme today.
Oh, shit, you did?
That meme popped up today, yes.
Damn, I didn't think they made a meme before. I was gonna make that shit. I saw it and I saw the NBA and I was like, yo, he liked the back or the Reese's when you take the piece off it. Yeah. I was like, I gotta make that a meme. Damn it, somebody beat me to it.
Yeah, then the chocolate sticks to the paper and you see like the membrane of the peanut butter. Yeah, I saw that meme today.
Damn, son, somebody beat me to it. Man, I kind of hate the internet, bro. They move faster than I do.
Yeah, so Tully Blanchard is now the manager of FTR. I guess we have, Sean Spears just sitting with his dick in his hand now.
You might as well. Ain't like he was doing anything WWE. Ain't doing that AEW shit.
Yeah. Lance Archer was on TV for the first time in a while. He beat a jobber.
What he should have been doing this whole time instead of losing the motherfuckers.
Exactly. If you're a monster heel, AEW's not the place for you. Go see Vince. At least you'll look good for like 4 months. He'll job you out after that, but at least you'll look good for like 4 months. 6 months.
4.5.
6 months if you're really good. You'll get a mid card title out of it, but then you're just fodder after that.
Yeah, with Great Khali, niggas out of there calls though.
But we had but out of that we had an interaction between Brian Cage and Lance Archer. So I think they're setting up Brian Cage and Lance Archer for All Out. And the next segment, this is probably my most exciting segment for me, which was Thunder Rosa, her promo calling out Sheeta for All Out. Thunder Rosa, the NWA Women's World Champion. Now, this is a double champion I want to see.
Yes, I think that is a double champion.
And for all the people that criticized why the AEW belt is so small, look at the NWA Championship. It's just as small.
Matter of fact, fuck that. Let's look back before they made the women's title from the Attitude Era. There used to be a tag team belt. The original women's title was damn near like a regular belt that you could buy from like in the 2000 era.
Yeah,
it was never that big of a belt. So I don't know why people complain about that belt being so tiny as it is.
But okay, it's fucking small. It's small. It's probably the smallest one ever. But nonetheless, the NWA.
But you got to think about you got to think about it. All the women in the thing don't need a big ass title like WWE's Raw and SmackDown title. They don't need a big ass belt. Like what's the purpose of that? You are a female. You don't need a WWE World Heavyweight Man title for shit like that. That shit makes no sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And we had another segment with MJF. We Deserve Better campaign. MJF, your world champion 2020. He had his lawyer speak for him, his lawyer, because he's in such pain and agony from being hit with the paradigm shift last week. He now wants the paradigm shift banned. It is ungodly. It is unjust. It should not be allowed in a wrestling ring or anywhere else.
I like MJF and I like his campaign. I fucks with it. I'm voting for MJF for 2020 before I vote for Trump or Biden.
Yeah. Or in high school we had this joke, vote Nader. Because I was going to vote for these nuts this year, like I did the other year.
These nuts almost beat Trump that like 4 years ago. What was it?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It beat him in 2 states. That was so fucking funny.
And next up, at the end of that segment, Tony Schiavone mentioned that Jon Moxley has been voted #1 PW Insider 500 for 2020.
Sad thing is, I don't say he's #1 at all, but if you look at from his WWE career to over to AEW and New Japan, I'll give him #1 for the simple fact that as soon as he left WWE, that man never stopped really entertaining or wrestling for a second or so. He like went from one place straight to another one, became champion, went from one place to another one, got a title picture, went back to New Japan, fought everybody over there that he could, came back, fought everybody a little bit in indies, and then went to AEW and fought them. The man has not stopped moving since he's been here. Except for bullshit. That's the only time he actually stopped. So
yeah,
if they wouldn't give him #1 for his work ethic of wrestling, I can understand. But giving him #1 out of the top 500,
yeah, that was pushing it for me.
I don't know.
Now I
don't know. Like he could be in the top 10.
Yeah, I missed it on Dynamite, but you sent the list. Sent it to me, and then I looked up the list. I told you I felt Cody should have been #1 because to me Cody has done more with character development, putting other people over, having banger matches. To me, there's been no weakness in Cody this year, so I felt Cody should have been #1. Now I'm just gonna read off till I feel like stopping. Moxley, Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, Drew McIntyre, Tetsuya Naito, Kazuchika Okada, Cody Rhodes at 7, Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles at 10, Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, Kenny Omega at 13, Roman Reigns, Nick Aldis, Bray Wyatt, Kota Ibushi, Leo Rush at 18. Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu.
Leo Rush made 18. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, Will Ospreay 21, MJF, Aleister Black, Kenta, Walter, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke's very high. I don't think he did much this year.
He hasn't done that in the last 2 years.
Exactly. Andrade, Jay White, Roderick Strong, Tommaso Ciampa is 30. PCO, Daniel Bryan, Adam Page, Bandito, Finn Balor at 35. Tanahashi, Pac, Takahashi, Baron Corbin at 41. Bullshit.
Bro, you got to understand, Baron Corbin at 41 was the fact that even though people don't like him as a wrestler, they respect him for that grind.
Okay, here's one I have a problem with. Randy Orton at 48. Randy Orton is having the fucking...
He did up there in the 50.
He's having the fucking, year of his career. He should have been top 15. I'm not going to say top 10, top 15.
They should took Roman out and put Randy there because Randy's still been on TV doing these great-ass little bits and storylines. Randy on the mic is impeccable. There's not many people that can touch Randy on the mic. I don't give a damn what nobody say. The man's undefeated also on Twitter with the whole shit with him and Roman Reigns. I swear to God, that shit is still the funniest thing ever.
We got.
I don't get it.
We got Darby Allin at 55. I'm cool with that. He deserves to have some shine. Jeff Cobb at 70. Pentagon at 74. Tessa Blanchard 83. I believe she's the first female on this list. I don't remember seeing anybody else above her.
Yeah, I don't think I was above her because I know Faye Jackson is number 130.
Wow. We got
mind you, PW Insider 500. Faye Jackson was the last time she was like 300 or something, and she jumped all the way up to be on 130.
Mm-hmm. Dijakovic is 104. Luchasaurus 105. Shorty G.
I feel like Dijakovic should have been up higher. He should have been right behind Keith Lee.
Shorty G is 123, and then you have Kyle Raleigh, Bobby Fish 121, 122. It's interesting that they put them right together.
Okay.
This
whole list makes sense, but some of them wrestlers should have been a little bit in different places because some of them got better work ethic than others.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get to the bottom. Oh, Rhino is 250.
First of all, I ain't seen him wrestle in a minute, so what the hell?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling to the bottom of the list just to pick out random names. We got Chris Hero at 345. I didn't even know he went back to Chris Hero, but anyway. Jinder Mahal is 367.
Damn.
He had 3 matches this year, 4 matches, and he's on the list.
Wait, where's Drew at?
Oh, Drew Mac, he's like number 5 or something.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was one of the first people on the list. MVP is 462. QT Marshall is 468. Tyler Breeze, 483. Tyler Breeze is the man of the fucking week. Last 2 weeks, matter of fact. He's killing it on Up, Up, Down, Down. He's crushing all the competition. He is the reigning champion, longest reigning champion. He invaded and destroyed Up, Up, Down, Down. He started his own brand, left, right. He debuted his own title. He's now a double champion. He's the NXT Tag Team Champion. Tyler Breeze is the man of the fucking week.
Okay, not that man hustle. Left, right. And what color is that bitch? Black.
It's black and pink.
Chrome?
Yeah. That shit is fire.
Boy. Beautiful belt.
And number 500, Dan the Dad. Never heard of him.
Some numbers should have been changed around, but it is what it is.
Anyway.
PW Insider do a lot more watching all wrestling than what we do.
And the main event of Dynamite, it was Cody, the reigning TNT champion, in a one-sided ass-kicking, being defeated by Brodie Lee of the Dark Order. And I believe, in my opinion, the first thing I thought of was John Cena, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam with the 16 German suplexes and the 4 F5s. That wasn't it, Chief. That wasn't it, Chief. They tried, but that wasn't it, Chief.
They tried, but all they wanted to do is make Brodie Lee look like something. I guess they got tired of people in there saying that he wasn't worth shit.
That's just it. Because the Dark Order, to me, it never had substance. They've changed that gimmick like 4 times, and it just still has no substance. I don't see them as dangerous. I don't even see it as a cult. It's just a bunch of idiots following Brodie Lee.
Prince, I like with him, man.
Yeah.
Well, look, we should be happy though. He stopped the vignettes of him being Vince at this point now, so I'm happy for that. Finally.
Yeah, there is one plus, yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to stop the vignettes. I'm happy they got him wrestling and doing some more talk on the mic now. Then they have him in the back eating steak. People they don't want to eat before him and shit like Vince was doing. I'm okay with them cutting that shit loose now.
Yeah. All right, TakeOver 30. As we mentioned, Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango are the new NXT Tag Team Champions, beating Imperium. No, that was on
Imperium.
Shit, I'm skipping ahead. That was NXT. That wasn't on TakeOver. I'm sorry. They won the number one contendership. They won the number one contendership on TakeOver. They beat Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and they beat Legado del Fantasma. Now, what I thought was going to be the match of the night wasn't, but nonetheless, it was a solid match. Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher, a real old school knockdown, drag them out fight. They had a fight.
Yeah, because like I said, Finn Balor was going to get some handprints on his chest. He left that night with some handprints on his.
Yeah, we got the technical Finn Balor. There was very little, high tempo, spot monkey Finn Balor in this one. This was real technical mat work from Finn Balor.
We got
the Prince,
Bullet Club, Prince Devitt. So we had Prince Devitt. There was no gimmick of the Demon. There was no gimmick of Finn Balor from the main roster. It was literally point click. The Prince Devitt was here.
Now, did you wait? What I was just gonna say, I just completely drew a blank. Anyway, let's move on. Damian Priest is the new NXT Tag Team Champion. I'm sorry, NXT North American Champion.
Oh,
he defeated Bronson Reed.
Did you see his picture?
Yes.
Did you see his picture when he won?
Yes. In the hot tub with the bitches.
People was getting on him also about having the belt in the water. I said, y'all need to stop, bro. Like, this is
He's in the hot tub with the bitches. What's the big deal?
For word, like, be happy for that nigga. That nigga showed up and niggas didn't think he was gonna be worth any kind of belt, and now he worked his way to getting one.
Word.
Leave that man alone.
Now, there were the match itself wasn't that great. Now, funny story. I took notes. I had like 3 pages worth of notes. I left the shit at home. So anyway, there was like 5 botches in this match. The most egregious one. Velveteen Dream was on the top of the ladder, reaching for the title. I believe it was Johnny Gargano. He came and pushed the ladder over. Velveteen Dream went over the top rope. Plug. He went over the guardrail, and he landed outside the guardrail. However, due to stupid camera work, we just saw him land in a crash pad.
Basically.
Yeah.
Did you hear Velveteen Dream scream when they threw the ladder at each other?
Yes.
Why was that the highest pitch bitch scream ever in WWE? Even the females don't sound like that. I can't even imitate how high that shit was, bro. I heard him do that, and I screamed in my house. I was like, "Oh my god, why did he hit that high pitched scream?" I understand he threw a ladder and he want to get hurt, but
Yeah.
Jesus, nigga, that was kind of OD.
Yeah. Now, the match of the night. The biggest shocker. Adam Cole and Pat McAfee. As I said, I don't give a shit about Pat McAfee.
I don't either.
But this man deserves his fucking just due. His promos.
You want to know something funny about that match?
Yeah.
There was no rehearsal. They just got in the ring and did it.
Pat McAfee is a fucking athlete. He got in there.
Pat McAfee might got a future in wrestling with some real shit.
Honestly, if they drop the whole football player thing, just make him a wrestler, I'm cool with it. His mic work,
Right.
he's better than 90% of the people there on the mic. Out the gate.
Let me tell you something. Even though I know he's an athlete, and we don't see many athletes come and go in WWE, most of them got to get trained most of their life to understand how to wrestle. Like, look at Big E. He came from bodybuilding and football in college to not being a wrestler to being what he is. But that took years.
Mm-hmm.
Pat McAfee got in this ring and was doing moves like he'd been wrestling in the Indies for like 20 years.
Yeah. Kelvin said...
And it's weird.
Kelvin said one of the chicks in the hot tub was Joey Janela's girlfriend. I didn't even notice. But yeah.
So can we talk about that? Can we talk about two spots that he pulled off that shocked the hell out of me?
The jump up to the top rope for the superplex like Shelton Benjamin?
First of all, not even that. The damn moonsault that he landed.
Oh, yes. Yes, that too. Yes.
That moonsault was immaculate, son. Like, he got pushed and landed. Did you see Adam Cole's face? Look at him like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't know you was able to even pull off that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then the senton, Jeff Hardy senton from the top rope out to the crowd.
Yep.
That was like, was picture perfect.
I usually hate when they do that spot where somebody climbs the top rope and they jump on the crowd of people. That was perfectly executed where literally nobody was looking while the person climbed. All of a sudden, they all turned at the perfect time, and he's in midair. Perfect execution of that spot. That needs to be done that way every time.
Look, and what did he do? He didn't be like a wrestler and sell he hurt. He flipped out there, landed all of them, sat up and went, woo! And got up. I said, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yes. That was the perfect execution of that spot.
That's not something you get hurt and lay there for 10 minutes.
Pleasantly surprised at that match. Pleasantly surprised.
Now let's see what Dave Meltzer ranked that at on the stars, because I feel like he's gonna give them a 4. When that match would probably be almost damn near 5, because no prep time, no rehearsal. They had legitimate little story beef, not just from the podcast that Pat McAfee does. Over the course of him and Adam Cole have not liked each other for a long time. They took something they've been doing off and on outside of wrestling, bring it to wrestling, and then they put on a good ass match. I don't like Pat McAfee at all, but I gotta give the man his props. He put on a good match. He put on a match better than any other athlete ever showed up in that ring, and anybody else has ever wanted to be a wrestler. He got in there and showed off that if WWE ever gets back to being 100% having fans in the ring and stuff like that, I see them bringing Pat McAfee again to wrestle a few more times.
And then next up, we had the main event. Karrion Kross defeated Keith Lee for the NXT Championship. At the time, making Keith Lee the shortest reigning NXT champion at, I believe it was 44 days. Unfortunately, Karrion Kross got injured and then had to relinquish the title, making him the shortest champion at 4 days.
In 4 days.
Now, you were asking about Meltzer. The lowest score Meltzer gave was a 2. And that was the main event. He gave Keith Lee and Karrion Kross a 2. I believe he's
they went ham, and you can even see when Karrion Kross
hurt himself.
Dislocated, basically dislocated his shoulder.
He was taking a shoulder block. It wasn't even like a high impact move. He took a shoulder block and he landed on his side instead of flat on his back, which is kind of.
And the sad thing is he took that and still wrestled the whole match like there was nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, he still finished the match. Yes. So Meltzer gave that a 2. He gave the tag team number 1 contender match a 3. Finn Balor, Timothy Thatcher a 4. Io Shirai, Dakota Kai a 3.75. That was a pretty, standard match. It wasn't anything special. It was a really solid women's match. And
that's what they need. They need solid women matches.
Which we come to expect from NXT TakeOver matches. The women always give you a solid match. He gave the ladder.
Get what the main roster can't get.
Well, you get it every once in a while if you have the right people in it. They gave the ladder match a 4.25. And Adam Cole, Pat McAfee, 3.75.
What the fuck? Yo, I swear they must be getting his dick sucked by like Vince or something.
So that was TakeOver 30. There were good spots, but honestly, in all, I expected more out of TakeOver 30.
I didn't expect a lot. Ever since now that we don't have the crowd no more, you can't really expect how the fans to react to try to give a match a good rating now.
Right.
That's how I feel. Because when you do like when I went to NXT Takeover, what was it, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
The fans there, I don't give a fuck. The match was trash. The fans made that match feel like it should be a 5-star match. I'm like, what? Without the fans, you got these dudes working the way they are. Like, who said it best? Who said it best in a podcast? I think it was Mark Henry. No, it was Big Show. Big Show said it best. See how we live in this pandemic and this time. This is the perfect time for wrestlers to not feed off the crowd like they should, but this is the time for them to try to develop their characters a lot more without using the crowd. Because this is the one time you get the free range to do something different,
right,
and not be criticized as you're doing it that night. So if you feel like, oh, I want to do something a little different than what I normally do, if you do it at a regular NXT Takeover and there's a crowd, they're going to tell you, no, don't do that. Stick to what you do. But now there's no crowd. People are starting to get more comfortable with their characters now. It's starting to build a better character development for most of the NXT roster. Even though majority of them have character development, they have a good amount of it. But people that don't see it from, like Damian Priest, Timothy Thatcher, and them, all you've seen them do is they just show up, fight, and they leave. Right. But now you're giving them a little bit of character. You're giving them a little bit more spots. You're giving them. It's making them look better. I just hope it stays like this when everything goes back to being normal somewhat and the crowd get to come back. Because a lot of people are like wanting to see them do this type of shit. Like I was cool with seeing motherfuckers show up and fight and leave. Like Keith Lee, I was used to him. They're showing NXT with the crowd doing little spots here and there and leaving. But now the crowd's not there. You get him the mic now. You let him talk more. You let him show anger when you know he's supposed to be the most calmest guy in the room.
Yep.
You let him show off that he can tell a story in a little bit of time than you trying to write a story out for a person for like 6-7 weeks.
Now, so one of the criticisms of the Thunderdome is the piped in crowd noise. We knew it was going to happen, but it's bad. It's in the wrong spots. It's overtaking the commentary, which isn't a bad thing because commentary's trash too. But you know,
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
where do you think they got that crowd reaction from? What pay-per-view or what live event they got it from?
They're probably taking a little bit from everything.
Because there's no crowd cheers. There's nobody screaming names, so it's just like the crowd is being amped. So I'm like, damn, what pay-per-views do they take these from? So you can't take it from certain Raws and SmackDowns because people start yelling certain wrestlers' names at wrong times and shit.
Yeah. All right, jumping over to SummerSlam. Pre-show, Apollo Crews retained the United States Championship against MVP. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin were banned from ringside. Kicking off the main card, Bayley retained against Asuka. They went with your theory.
I said.
They went with your theory because later on, Asuka defeated Sasha Banks. And Bayley tried to help, but didn't quite help. So they went with your theory. And as we saw the following night on Raw, they weren't quite on the same page where Bayley's like, hey, you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. I did. I'm still champion. I'm champion for 370-something days. Or 20-something days, whatever it is. I forgot the number.
No, 371.
No, it hasn't been a whole year yet, so it's like 320.
Nah, she got in the back of her head, because back of her head is shaved. She got a cut back there, 371.
Hold on. Let me Google this shit. We also had the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team Champion.
Bruh. Porter, bruh. That damn in mid-air turnaround frog splash.
Yeah.
That's some shit you get from 2K.
Yeah. And that's usually a fuck up in 2K because you slam the person wrong and then you go to the wrong corner and they'll just churn you in midair just because.
He did it in real life. Like, even RVD hasn't been able to pull that off. He can get across the ring, but to jump in the air, spin your body a whole 180 and still land it, bruh, I'm telling you, if they don't do him like they did Kofi Kingston and give him just a single run by himself, I don't know what WWE is doing anymore.
Bayley, as of today, is 322. So it must have been 317.
I got 371 behind head.
It was probably 317. Larry got the numbers mixed up.
I caught that, Alex.
Yeah,
I caught that.
Yeah, 317 must have been Monday or Sunday. Yeah, 5 days ago was Sunday, so 317.
Okay.
We had Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a loser leaves WWE match instead of a hair match.
And I know why they did it too. It makes more sense.
Yeah, because Sonya Deville needs time off after her, almost kidnapping.
Yep. Oh, did you see the meme that I got it saved in my phone. One of the wrestling Instagram posted a picture of the guy that broke into Sonya Deville's house, and he said that the Triple H shit when he broke into Randy's house, and he goes, "Hey, I'm here." And then they took it down because people got on them. Bruh, I screenshotted that shit before they took it down. It is like the most offensive thing ever because it just make it look so much more worse than what it is. They still getting heat on off of Twitter and Instagram.
Seth Rollins was a part of the second best debut of the weekend against Dominic Mysterio. Now,
I'm not gonna lie, Dominic proved me wrong.
He did the damn thing. He came out ready to go. There was
taking
no
bumps, taking hard hits.
Yep.
All of it.
Yep. This was a street fight, so that means Murphy got involved. That means Mysterio got involved, and it was also bring your parents to work day because Dominic's mother came out. She was a part of the show. At that point,
I like how they all go with Vuitton on.
At that point, I was like, "This is too much. Just let them have the match."
Hey man, look, man, they just broke her along because this is the first time she get to see her son wrestle in the ring since the whole "I'm your papi."
Who's your papi? And then they followed. Now, that was a street fight. And then we had the WWE Championship match. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. And Drew McIntyre countered the RKO with a backslide for the finish. I'm not mad at it. That was a good counter.
The most devastating move in wrestling history.
But it was done correctly. They didn't just do it to do it. They did it as a counter. So I'm okay that it happened because also didn't Bayley win with a roll up too against Asuka?
Yep.
But again, they did it correctly because Sasha Banks was on the apron, the ref was distracted, Bayley just went over, grabbed her, the ref turns around, pin. They did it correctly. Now they shouldn't have used both in the same night, but they were both done correctly. And then the main event that somehow became a Falls Count Anywhere match out of nowhere because it wasn't announced. The Fiend is the new Universal Champion. After they fought in Gorilla, they fought backstage. But for some reason, this Falls Count Anywhere match finished in the ring. After Braun Strowman took a box cutter and cut the ring up and exposed the wooden planks.
Something that been done numerous times, but ain't ever gonna be outperformed better than the Nexus showing up the first time.
Yes. So kind of
Hold up. Before we go further,
Oh,
let's talk about how
wait.
the big dog showed
Wait. Let me explain how that happened for me. So, after Bray Wyatt gets the pin, after the Fiend gets the pin, I got up. I was ready to go take a piss. I was about to turn my Xbox off. So I'm standing there. I'm texting somebody, and then the big dog. I was like, wait, what? And all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt's laying on the ground. I'm like, whoa, where the hell did Roman come from? And then I remembered, you never saw it coming. Because all of a sudden, they added that tagline on Friday Night SmackDown because they didn't have it on Monday or Raw. They added that tagline, you never saw it coming, and you never saw it coming. There's Roman.
I ain't gonna lie, that probably was the biggest surprise reveal to have him come back that night.
Yeah.
For that one moment.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what made it more intriguing and more funny.
Okay.
Let's talk about Sir Randy Orton and his Instagram/tweet of the big dog is back, and he showed a picture of Brian Griffin with his realistic human teeth.
Yep.
And then the Roman counter with, and I quote, "Thanks, Randy, for acknowledging me. They gotta talk about somebody, because you ain't doing anything. Hashtag the big dog is back. Hashtag this is my yard." Randy countered with a picture of a horse saying, "You guys heard it from," and showed a picture of a horse, and the horse got the same exact teeth that Roman got, new veneers, the straight even. And he goes, "Hey, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth."
Yo, Randy's undefeated on Twitter right now.
Right, nobody's beating Randy on Twitter, bro. He has too much time to sit in the house and think about what he's going to write.
Yo, like after last week when he went at the Young Bucks, yo, that shit was funny.
No, did you see the thing the Young Bucks went after Randy when Nick Jackson said, "Yeah, we need a match for this card. It needs to be slow paced, non-hard hitting, and not interested." But I don't think WWE gonna rent out Randy Orton.
Oh man.
Oh, can we get into the Raw?
Okay.
There's another thing about Raw that I gotta talk about too.
Okay. Go ahead.
And it's about Keith Lee.
The debut with Randy.
Yeah. They threw him straight into Randy. It's almost like a title picture thing. Now I'm okay with it because you went from losing a title to showing up to you won another title. It makes sense for Keith Lee as big as he is. The thing that bothers me about the internet is they talked about his ring gear
And his
talking
music.
about his music.
Yep. I saw both of them coming, by the way.
So did I. But the thing is, WWE changes music because they no longer fuck with CFO.
Right.
So they had to get rid of his music and get him something generic. But the whole Monday Night Raw, people were talking about, oh, they just fucked him up already or changed his music. No, you understand. WWE let go of motherfuckers that was making music for people. They mean that they don't want to be associated with them niggas no more. They won't want to use their music no more.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to change it. But what Keith Lee posted on his Twitter made more sense.
Yeah.
He said, "I control on my music, but just rock with it. Give it time. I'll fix that later."
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. Now, the second thing is
The ring gear.
why they get the upper bodysuit and the loose pants.
Okay. I saw that coming because how often do they let the fat but built guy actually show his gut and whatnot? Very rarely.
Kane.
Who?
Yeah, Kane was the last one. Because he had a gut with a six-pack in it.
Yeah. Cause, how long before Big Show went to a full body suit? Mark Henry always had a full body suit. Big E has almost always had a full body suit. He wore trunks for a little bit of time in NXT, but he went to the full body suit eventually. So it's just a thing. They want big guys to be covered to make their physique look better. Yes, you're really, really strong, but just a gut and man boobs just don't look good for.
Oh, matter of fact, no, I'm wrong. Not Kane. Samoa Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Samoa Joe is the one exception right now. Even though he's not wrestling, he's on commentary, which he's doing an excellent job at.
He's doing a great job of it, and there's also still talks in the back of they only want him to be commentary for a little bit, but they want him more back in the ring anyway.
They're just worried about his concussion history now. That's the only thing.
Oh, now you were about Nick's concussion history, huh?
Yeah.
Took a while. Anyway, Raw was a solid show. I think Keith Lee's debut probably made it best for me to watch him fight Randy.
Yeah.
Everything else on Raw was just like, it was just a rehash of what happened at SummerSlam, except for the Lucha House Party little incident.
I think I missed that.
Lucha House Party has kind of got a beef within each other now all of a sudden.
Okay.
And it's kind of weird because like they never hinted or went towards this way. Just like all of a sudden, boom, it happened that night.
Okay. We got to wrap up soon. On NXT, like as we mentioned, Karrion Kross had to relinquish the NXT Championship due to his separated shoulder. William Regal later, he announced a fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match for
probably gonna be the best match
for
in
NXT
wrestling history
next Tuesday, because NXT is moving to Tuesday next week. I believe Dynamite is back to Wednesday, but NXT is moving to Tuesday. Yes, perhaps the best wrestling match in the history of NXT. You have Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano for 60 minutes.
This is probably the one time that NXT probably beat AEW again.
Yeah, I don't see what they can put on to compete with that, unless a match that makes no sense why it would happen. Like you'd have to put Kenny Omega and I don't know, Kenny Omega and Cody. I don't know. Is that their best match that they can offer?
Either Kenny Omega and Cody, or if you wanted to be interesting and you wanted to be something people would talk about, you had to go like Kenny Omega and the Bastard Pac.
He's still stuck in Europe, but you know.
I know what I'm saying. Like for them to counter against NXT 60-minute Iron Man match, they had to go that route right there, because that would be high flying, hard hitting, and they can really utilize the whole entire ring without having to really talk much. It'd just be a regular fight.
Yep. And to preview Payback, because why the fuck are they having a pay-per-view the week right after a pay-per-view? Stupid. We have.
You know why? Because it's technically. You know why? Because technically part 2 to SummerSlam.
Yes. Yeah, it's part 2 to SummerSlam. And Kelvin just mentioned Hangman got kicked out of the Elite. I forgot about that. To preview Payback, we got Bayley and Sasha for the Women's Tag Team Champion taking on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, who suddenly got put together because they just happen to hate the same people. I'm fine with that.
They might as well put together. So they might as well together because they both injured motherfuckers. So it's 2 to injured people with 2 people that's unbreakable.
Yeah, then we have Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. I want to say Bobby wins that. I hope Bobby wins.
I hope Bobby wins, but they put it on Crews for a reason. So I guess they got somewhat faith in him finally now.
Yeah. Then we got The Fiend versus Roman versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. The Fiend better fucking retain.
Yeah, I don't like that because Roman comes back and automatically gets a title shot. Now we're back to John Cena all over again.
Yes, he comes back. You put him in a position where he shouldn't lose, and you're probably gonna end up fucking up The Fiend again after you did it last year with Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell. We got Keith Lee.
Unless WWE don't use The Fiend and use Bray Wyatt.
But again, you just fucking wasted Bray Wyatt. All of his title reigns has just been shit if you do that. Because remember, he lost after a month to Randy at WrestleMania.
It would be, but at the same time, it would be, but at the same time, it would still make The Fiend look like a different personality. Like how Mick Foley had Hugh Love. We know Hugh Love was like the jobber. Mick Foley was the guy that took all the bumps. Mankind was the guy that did all the super stunts. But Cactus Jack was the guy that just went all out and really lost. You never seen Cactus Jack ever really lose. And man kind of had a match, and then he could call out and he'll win Cactus Jack out of that the personality he could.
And then the last match before we wrap up is Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, which we just saw on Raw. So I don't know why we're repeating the match, but that is the match for Payback. And any other news before we get out of here?
Now besides WWE Hall of Famer pass away. That's really about it. I can't remember his name right now. He was awesome a while ago. I can't remember his name. But now there's really no who I can think of.
Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. I've been Darth Messiah for Ultra Hills Wrestling Podcast. And you, sir?
Alex the motherfucking Hill.
Good night, Gnarly Marv.
Good night, gentlemen.
And we out.